In this lesson, we're going to look at the surface area of prisms. Here's the lesson outline. We're going to explain what surface area is, and we're going to look at two methods of arriving at the surface area of a prism or of prisms. So the surface area describes the total area of the surfaces of a three-dimensional object. And here I have three different types of prisms. I have a rectangular prism over here, and I have a square prism over here, and then I have a triangular prism over here. If you want to understand what prisms are, refer to the lesson on prisms. Here is the most important thing to know. The prism has two faces, and it has the line that joins the two faces together is considered as the height. Now, if we look at this, because it's a rectangular prism, you see the base here where I have the R, and then the top here is also a rectangle. So the type of prism is determined by the base that we have. Now, if we want to find the surface area of a prism, the first thing we're going to do is, using method 1, is to actually find the area of every surface of that prism. So this rectangular prism has 6 surfaces, so we're going to look for the area of each of these surfaces. So we have, first of all, this surface here is a square, so let's call it, so it's 4, the area of a square is 4 times 4, okay, that's that surface. We also have a similar surface opposite it here, right here, and that is also 4 times 4. Now the rectangular base is 6.5 times 4 for the area, 6.5 times 4, and also the surface above, which is also 6.5 times 4. So now we've addressed 4 of the surfaces. Now we're going to address the last 2 surfaces, which is also 6.5 times 4 and 6.5 times 4. So let's call this surface area equal to, so 4 times 4 is 16 plus 16 plus 6.5 times 4 is 26 plus 26 plus 26 plus 26. So when you add this together, you have 32 plus 104, which is 136 square inches. Now let's look at another prism. We're using method 1 still, and what we have here is our surface area is equal to the area of all the surfaces, and then we add them together. So 5 times 6. So we also have a 5 times 6 on the top up here. So that's 5 times 6. Now we have this side here, it's 16 times 5. So that's that surface. And then back here we also have 16 times 5. Then for this surface here we have 16 times 6. And then the opposite surface also is 16 times 6. So this is going to be 30 plus 30 plus 80 plus 80 plus 96 plus 96. So here we have 60, 80 plus 80 is 160, 96 plus 96 is 192. So this is going to give us 402 square meters. And finally, For method 1, we have a triangular prism, and so we're going to look for the area of each of the surfaces. So surface area is equal to, for this surface right here, a triangle is 1/2 base times height. Okay, so let's do that right here. It's going to be 1/2 of 16 times 5 plus the opposite surface as well, 1/2 times 16 times 5. Now we have the base, the bottom surface right there is 16 times 23. And then we have, so now we need to find the area of this surface right here. This surface right here. And we have, this is a rectangle over there. We have the length or the width, but we don't have one of the other dimensions. So we're going to apply Pythagorean Theorem, and we're going to look for the hypotenuse of this triangle right here. The hypotenuse of this triangle is going to be, we have 5 right here, and we can make an assumption that the altitude, which is this 5 feet, divides the triangle in 2 halves, so that's going to be 8 over here. And Pythagorean Theorem, a squared plus b squared equal to c squared. So 5 squared plus 8 squared equal to c squared. 64 plus 25 is c squared. So c, so let's say 89 is c squared. So c is the square root of 89. So now we have c is going to be square root of 89. So now we're going to use that for this rectangle here that I've highlighted the dimensions of. It's going to be 23 multiplied by square root of 89 for this part of it, and then you have one on the other end, which is also going to be 23 times square root of 89. Okay, so now what we have here is half of 16 times 5 is going to give us 40 plus 40 plus 16 times 23 is 368 plus 23 square root of 89 plus 23 square root of 89. So this is going to give us 40 plus 40, that's 80, plus 368 is going to be 448 plus 46 square root of 89 square feet. Now we're going to look at method 2. We introduce a concept called the lateral area, and that is calculated using the perimeter of the base times height. Remember, the base doesn't mean the bottom of the figure. The base is represented by the two sides that are the same, because a prism is about two sides being the same joined by a length. That's why you have three-dimensional. And so your total surface area is lateral area multiplied by 2 times the area of the base. So now here's what we're going to do. We're going to identify the base first. Look right here, we have a rectangle here, and at the bottom we have a rectangle at the top, and 4 inches is the height. So this rectangle is our base. So let's look for the lateral area first. The lateral area is the perimeter of the base, which is 2 multiplied by 4 plus 6.5, and then our height is 4. So this is going to give us 2 times 10.5 times 4, which is 21 times 4. This is going to be 84 square inches. Now let's look for the area of the base. Let's call it B. The area of the base is going to be 4 times 6.5, which is 26 square inches. But for the total surface area, so let's call it TSA, total surface area is going to be lateral area, which is 84 plus 2 multiplied by area of the base. So this is 84 plus 52, which is equal to 136 square inches. For this triangular prism, we're also going to apply the same thing. We need to find the lateral area, which is perimeter of the base. Now, the base is the triangle actually, so for the perimeter, we need to find each of these sides. And we make an assumption, safely make an assumption that this altitude divides the triangle in two parts. So what we have is, we have a right triangle that looks like this. It has 5 right here, and it has 8 right here, and so we're trying to find C. We apply Pythagorean Theorem here. It's going to give us a squared plus b squared equal to c squared. So we have 5 squared plus 8 squared equal to c squared. 25 plus 64 equal to c squared. 89 equal to c squared, and then c is the square root of 89. So our lateral area is the perimeter of the base, which is 16 plus square root of 89 plus the square root of 89, and we multiply that by the height. The height is 5. Actually, the height is 23 because the height joins the two faces together. We have a triangular prism, so we're joining the two triangles together, and that is 23. Okay, so this is going to give us 16 plus 2 square root of 89 times 23. Okay, so this is going to give us 368 plus 46 square root of 89. And now we need to find the area of the base. We call that a B. Area of the base is 1/2. The base is 16 times the height is 5, which is going to give us 16 times 5. So this is 40. And so total surface area is equal to the lateral area, which is 368 plus 46 square root of 89 plus 2b, which is 2 times 40. So this is 368 plus 46 square root of 89 plus 80. So we add 368 and 80, we get 448 plus 46 square root of 89, and that is square feet. Finally, let's get the lateral area here. The lateral area is the perimeter of the base. So we can see the base here. It's 2 multiplied by 5 plus 6, and then times the height, which is 16. So this is going to give us 2 times 11 multiplied by 16. So this is going to give us 352 square meters. And then we need to find the area of the base, call that uppercase B. The area of the base is 5 times 6, which is equal to 30 square meters. So our total surface area is lateral area plus 2 times the area of the base, which is going to give us lateral area is 352 square meters plus 2 times 30 square meters. So this is going to give us 352 square meters plus 60 square meters, which is going to end up being 412 square meters. So this is a demonstration of how to use both methods in dealing with surface area of prisms.